Okay, good morning, guys. Today's notes, section 4.4, this is our last part of the inequalities before our little quiz later this week. Some important things to remember here is that we really need to pay attention to our signs. So let's take a look at this next slide. Some important words and phrases that we have: less than, no less than, greater than, more than. All of these have specific symbols that we need to use with our words here. So if we see something that says is less than, we're going to use the less than symbol. At most, meaning it has to be smaller, but it can be equal to. So we're going to use the less than or equal to. No more than. Again, that's just like at most. It has to be smaller than, but it can be equal. No less than. No less than, that means it's going to be bigger, but it can also be equal. So we're going to use greater than or equal to. Minimum is less than or equal to. Maximum, meaning it cannot be bigger, we're going to use less than or equal to. Is more or greater than, meaning it's going to be bigger, but it cannot be equal. At least, that's going to be our greater than or equal to. So again, just a recap on here. When we use the less than symbol, okay? When we use the less than symbol, we're going to say less than, fewer than, or below. If we are using the less than or equal to symbol, we're going to say less than or equal to, maximum, at most, or no more than. The greater than symbol, we're going to say greater than, more than, or above. If we see the greater than or equal to symbol, we're going to say greater or equal to, the minimum, at least, or no less than. Okay, you'll refer back to this sheet for almost all these problems that we're going to get set to do here, guys. So let's take a look at the first example. A car rental agency rents cars for $26.20 per day plus 22 cents per mile driven. If your travel budget is $200, what is the maximum the maximum number of miles that you can drive during a one-day rental? Okay, so let's take some important things here. We've got $26.20 per day, so times a day, plus 22 cents per mile driven, okay? If your travel budget is $200, what is the maximum number of miles we can drive? Okay, so 200 miles, guys. That means that we have to drive less than $200, or we can use exactly $200. So we're going to say $200 is our grand total, and that is the most we can spend, but we can include that. Then, because they want just a one-day rental, we're going to say our $26.20 for one day plus 22 cents per mile driven. Okay? So that's how we set that up. And then, just like any other thing, we solve that like normal. Okay? We want to get the letter by itself, so we're going to subtract that $26.20 on both sides. And we are left with 22 cents per mile has to be less than or equal to $173.80. Okay, last thing we need to do is to divide both sides by 0.22 by 22 cents. and we see that the maximum amount that we can drive, the maximum amount of miles, but it can include it, is 790 miles. Okay? Let's take a look at example number 2. Suppose that you are running a concession stand when a person gives you $18 and asks for 6 soft drinks and as many hot dogs as the remaining money will buy. If soft drinks are $1 and hot dogs are $1.75, what is the maximum number of hot dogs the person can buy? Okay, so we know that we are getting 6 soft drinks and those cost $1 a piece. And we know that hot dogs are $1.75 and we don't know how many. There are 175 each, so we're going to use X. And it says, what is the maximum? So that amount has to be less than or equal to the $18 that they gave us. So again, that's how we set that up. 6 times 1 is just 6, so we have 6 plus $1.75x is less than or equal to 18. We're going to subtract 6 on both sides, and we're left with $1.75x has to be less than or equal to $12. Divide both sides by $1.75, and we get that x has to be less than or equal to 6.9. Now I want you guys to think about that. Can we sell 6.9 hot dogs? No, we can't. If we sell 7 hot dogs, the person won't have enough. So we actually have to go down. The max amount we can sell is 6 hot dogs. Okay? Example number 3. Your grades on tests 1, 2, and 4 are 82, 76, and 90. Unfortunately, you cut the third test and received a 0. You have 1 test left to take, and if the passing grade for the course is 70, can you still pass? So, we have to take the average, guys. As a reminder, average, that's each score. So on this one, it would be each test added divided by the total number of tests we're taking. Okay, that equals our average. Now our average in this case has to be greater than or equal to 70. 70 is the lowest that we can get. So in this case, we got an 82 on the first one, a 76, a 90, a 0, and we don't know the third one. And then we have to divide it by the total number of tests. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests. So if we add all that up, we get 248 plus x divided by 5 has to be greater than or equal to 70. We're going to start by getting rid of that 5 on the bottom, okay, because that's dividing both the 248 and the x. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5, and I'm going to take this up here, and we get 248 plus x has to be greater than or equal to 350. Subtract 248 on both sides, and we get x has to be greater than or equal to 102. Guys, what that means is that we have to score bigger than 102% in order to pass that class. That's the damage that missing a test does to your grade. Okay, so now it's your turn. Okay, it says that Mike needs at least $250 for new beats. He currently has $76 and is saving $15 per week. I want you to write an inequality that represents the situation and find how long it will take for him to save enough money for the earphones. Okay, go ahead and pause this video, and then when you're ready to go through my explanation, hit play again. Okay, so hopefully you got your answer worked out here. The inequality that you should have is going to be $15 per week plus the $76 we had has to be greater than or equal to the $250 that these beats are going to cost us. So when we go to solve this, guys, you should have 15x plus 76 has to be greater than or equal to $250. Start by subtracting that 76 on both sides. And you should have that $15 per week has to be greater than or equal to $174. Our next step here, divide by the 15 on both sides, and we get that x has to be greater than or equal to 11.6. Well, here's the issue, guys. Again, just like with that hot dog problem, he's not earning $15 for 0.6 of a week, for 0.6 of a week. He gets that at the end of the week, so he has to work a full week. So think about it. If we go down to 11 weeks, is that enough for him to earn the $250, or does he have to do more? And the answer for here is he has to work at least 12 weeks to make enough money to buy those new earbuds. Okay? So now, guys, let's go ahead and stop this video. Okay, so on the next page, you guys see that you have a few problems that we need to go through. Okay? Give me a second here. I apologize for that. I'm trying to get my stuff together. So on this sheet that you guys have, it says that I want you to define the variable, write an inequality, solve, and graph. So let's look at this first problem. A bowling alley charges $9 for each hour. You can spend no more than $27. Okay? With that, how many hours can you bowl? So if I look at this one, the big thing to remember here, it says it charges $9 for each hour. That's like saying $9 per hour. Okay? We can spend no more than. That means that we can spend less than or equal to the $27. How many hours can we bowl? So again, that's going to be $9 per hour has to be less than or equal to $27. Well, with that, how do we solve? Divide both sides by 9, and we get that h is less than or equal to 3 hours. Now, here's the big thing to remember, guys. I did say in the directions to define your variable. So in this case, my h stands for hours. Okay? I also asked you guys to graph this. So here's my number line. Here's my number 3 in the middle. 4 is to the right. 2 is to the left. Okay? It is a less than or equal to symbol. And I can't spend 4 hours, but I can spend 2 hours or even 1 hour. Okay, let's look at number 2 here. Define the difference between an unknown number and 9, the difference between an unknown number and 9 is a minimum of 27. What is the number? So here, difference, guys, that means to subtract. An unknown number, that's like a variable, x, and the other number is 9. A minimum, meaning it has to be more than or equal to the number 27. So with that, we're going to say the difference. So x minus 9 has to be greater than or equal to the number 27. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this letter by itself. We're going to start by adding 9 on both sides. And we get that x has to be greater than or equal to 36. And in this case, my x stood for an unknown number. All right, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to let you finish the rest of this. I will put an answer key on Canvas for you to check. Have a great day. Sorry, I'm not there.